Please be seated. Thank you to our wonderful band and orchestra and choir for providing music tonight. We appreciate Mr. Blau, Dr. Hamilton, and Ms. Rost for preparing our scholars to perform. It is with great pleasure that we welcome you all to the Heritage Academy Mesa 30th commencement ceremony. Can you believe it's been 30 years? In recognition of our 30th anniversary, I would like to honor Mr. Earl Taylor, the founder of Heritage Academy. Without his vision and guidance, we would not be here today. Mr. Taylor, will you stand? He has 3 grandsons graduating in the class of 2025. I would like to thank our amazing teachers and staff for their extraordinary dedication. Teachers and staff, would you please stand? And they're scattered throughout the room, so wave, teachers and staff. Thank you. I would also like to recognize Jared Taylor, the chairman of our governing board, and other members of our governing board, and any other dignitaries or elected officials in attendance. I know that other members of our board are here. If you are a member of our governing board, would you please stand? And thank you to our Heritage families and friends for helping us reach this momentous occasion. Tonight is a night we celebrate, and I feel your celebratory spirit. My name is Heidi Udall. I am the principal of Heritage Academy Mesa and a member of the governing board. It is my pleasure to conduct the commencement ceremony this evening. The Heritage Academy Choir and Orchestra will now present the national anthem. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence led by our senior class president, Asher Smith.
Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Now will you please join me in a moment of silence? Thank you. Now to Mrs. Udall.
Our choir will now sing the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Following the choir's performance, our 2025 salutatorian, Edwin Martinez Ruiz, and our 2025 valedictorian, Tatum Meeker, will speak.
Good evening, Heritage Academy scholars, faculty, and families. It is truly a pleasure and an honor to represent such a talented and gifted graduating class. As we all sit in our cap and gowns, we are not just celebrating a ceremony, but we are also celebrating a journey. This journey, which has been filled with learning, growth, and fun, has shaped who we were, are, and will be. Now, this night does not mark the end of the journey, but instead the beginning of a new part. When I reflect on what sets Heritage Academy apart, one word stands out: purpose. We have been taught not just to earn a grade better than C in order to avoid repeating classes, but to become people of intelligence and resilience. That is what Heritage Academy has set out to do and accomplish: to build strong character, to support strong minds, and to form heroes. And this class has become heroes together. When I think about what makes this graduating class so unique and special, I think about how unified we are and how we almost feel like a family. I especially felt this togetherness at the beginning of the first semester. In the start of the summer, prior to my senior year, I was unfortunately diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is a rare autoimmune disease where the body's immune system mistakenly turns against its own nerves. This led to an inability to eat, speak, and walk, and a difficulty breathing and thinking. During this time, I was at rock bottom. I spent a total of 2 weeks in the hospital, and each day felt like a month. I feared I would never recover and do the things I used to love, like hanging out with friends and being with family. I felt helpless, alone, and defeated. I spent the next 4 months in and out of therapy sessions, trying to get back on my feet, quite literally, and perhaps save just a small part of my old self. However, life began to look up when school began again at Heritage Academy. I was able to count on lots of support from my classmates and teachers. For instance, at the senior sunrise, although I was certainly not fit enough to hike the mountain, I had help from many caring individuals. Even people who I had not informed about my condition had heard through the grapevine and without hesitation aided me in reaching into the top. This support transitioned into the school day as fellow students helped me keep my balance or pick up items I dropped. This wonderful experience has shown me how Heritage's mission of trying to build strong and moral character while also providing a secure place for teenagers to connect and share has been achieved. I bring up this experience to remind my fellow graduates and the members of the audience that even if you feel you have hit rock bottom or if life takes an unexpected turn, there is always a way forward, especially when you are surrounded by a community who truly cares. What got me through those dark months wasn't just medical treatment or therapy, but the kindness, encouragement, and selflessness of the people around me. My story is just one example of how powerful unity can be. So as we all step into the next chapter of our lives, let's continue to be the kind of people who lift others up when they are down, just like how you all did for me. Because if we continue to support one another, no matter what life throws at us, we will truly never be alone. To my fellow graduates, I hope you always have that hunger to learn, remain humble enough to grow, and continue to be brave enough to make your own path. To our families, teachers, and mentors, thank you for walking with us, guiding us, and never giving up on us. We would not be on this stage if it weren't for you. Before I close, I want to thank 2 people who have been my biggest supporters, my parents. Antes de terminar, quiero agradecer a 2 personas que han sido mis mayores apoyadores, mis padres. Thank you to my dad, who has shaped me into the man I am today with his sacrifices and hard work. Gracias a mi padre, quien me ha convertido en el hombre que soy hoy con sus sacrificios y trabajo duro. Thank you to my mom for your care, love, and sacrifices. You have guided me through the darkest of times. Gracias a mi mamá por tu cariño, amor y sacrificios. Me has guiado en los momentos más difíciles. Thank you both for your love, your strength, and your faith in me. Gracias a ustedes por su amor, su fuerza y su fe en mí. Even when I felt like giving up, even at my darkest moments, you never did. Cuando yo quería rendirme, ustedes nunca se rindieron. This moment belongs to you as much as it does to me. Este momento les pertenece tanto a ustedes como a mí. I love you with all my heart. Los quiero con todo mi corazón. And with all that being said, congratulations, class of 2025.
Good evening. Thank you to all the parents, family, and friends for being here tonight to celebrate our graduation. I'm Tatum Meeker, and it's an honor to be Heritage Academy's Class of 2025 valedictorian. Heritage Academy is a special school. There's even a phrase that's often used by students and faculty that highlights its uniqueness: only at Heritage. It's often used in situations like, only at Heritage would we devote entire lunch periods to teacher rap battles, or only at Heritage would students dress up as founding fathers and parade around the football games. However, my personal favorite is only at Heritage does every student have a friend. When I came to Heritage 6 years ago, I had no friends, and the thought of having to make some terrified me. Before the first bell rang on my first day of school, I sat in the courtyard trying to muster up any courage to talk to anybody. While doing so, an upperclassman sat next to me and started asking simple questions like, what class are you most excited for, and what electives are you taking? This small interaction changed my outlook for the rest of the day. I was confident enough to talk to other students in my class and even secured a table with my new friends at lunch. That conversation might have meant nothing to that upperclassman. They were just being nice. However, them simply being a friend brightened my whole day. Since then, I have come to realize that Heritage Academy is filled with students just like that upperclassman, students always looking for opportunities to just be a friend. I have made lots of amazing friends at Heritage, friends that were even willing to spend many hours writing a speech for graduation, but this is the case for everyone at Heritage. If anyone takes a look at the courtyard during lunch, they will see very few students sitting by themselves. If you go to dance or ballroom concerts, you'll hear the crowd cheering for every member of each group. And if you go to any sporting event, you'll see scholars in the crowd cheering for every player, even the ones on the bench. Everybody is included, and everybody has a friend. The idea of being a friend is exemplified by the teachers and faculty. As soon as you walk into the school, the ladies at the front desk are smiling at you, ready to answer any questions you may have. In the classrooms, you see teachers diligently using their power to help students struggling in their classes. We even have a reminder every day that our principal is our friend when she says, "And remember, I love you," on the announcements. Only at Heritage does every student have a friend, but that should not be the case. Today, our world is filled with people that feel isolated. The need for friends is greater than ever, and we can be those friends. Whether it's just a smile or a simple conversation, you are being a friend, and sometimes that is all somebody needs. I know that this graduating class is ready to be those needed friends. We can be Heritage heroes forever by always being a friend. Thank you.
We will now enjoy our Heritage Concert Choir singing Homeward Bound. All Heritage alumni who have sung this before at a Heritage graduation are invited to join the choir for this musical number. Please come forward. While Mr. Taylor was the principal of Heritage Academy, this song was traditionally sung. So again, in honor of the 30th anniversary, if we have any Heritage alumni out there who would like to come join us in singing this song, please do now. Isn't this great? Thank you. Dr. Wayne Denton, our history department chair and dual enrollment history teacher on campus, will speak to us next. He was chosen by the senior class to speak as their faculty representative.
So I want to start by thanking you for choosing me to speak at your graduation. In preparation, I made a list of many memories that I had with your class, and the list quickly became too long, almost too long. So I had to pick a select few. So number one, a crazy pioneer named Husky Hank. Hank helped to build the Intercontinental Railroad while being fueled solely by veggie platters alone. This was also the only class that ever gave me music suggestions that moved my taste out of the early 90s. And they actually offer suggestions that I like. Who knew that Chappell Roan and Ethel Cain could be awesome? Your class had a secret talent for building board games. If Milton Bradley ever needs new ideas, I have a few names. The only deal is we have to share the patent. A doll named Emmeline, who I'm sure is possessed. P.S. Thank you for giving me 2 of them. And ending last year, has anybody ever heard of a junior prank? I never have, but somehow I walked out to my car and it was completely covered in sticky notes with wonderful notes on them. And finally, a particular 4B class that helped to develop my ongoing trademark statement that will never leave Heritage Academy as long as I'm here. It is this statement that will serve as the backbone for my speech tonight. As you sit here on the cusp of new beginnings, it's completely natural to feel a surge of excitement, a lot of nerves, and an overwhelming sense of accomplishment. Stepping into the next chapter of your lives, I want to share some wisdom that has proven invaluable not just in my life, but throughout history as well. Think for a moment, if you will, about George Washington, one of the founders of this nation. His name is synonymous with leadership and accomplishment. However, I believe his best trait is often overlooked for these more glamorous stories. In the early days of America, the challenges were immense. The path forward following the Revolutionary War was unclear. Sure, the nation was free, but what was next? Washington, as the new president, was tasked with choosing the direction via decision-making as he listened to many different voices coming from all directions. What often goes unsaid is his ability to navigate a landscape filled with competing ideologies and strong personalities, some of who would go on in short time to form the first political parties of this nation. Washington was not a figurehead on an island all by himself. Instead, he was surrounded by individuals with very strong and loud opinions. Yet Washington possessed the wisdom to listen and weigh these contrasting perspectives. Ultimately, he had the ability to find a point of balance. He recognized that no single voice held all of the answers, that progress lay not in clinging to one extreme, but in carefully considering all sides of an argument. It was this very act of finding equilibrium that allowed a new nation to not only survive, but to eventually begin to thrive. Graduates, as you embark on your own journey in life, you will encounter a world similar to that of our first president, albeit more technologically advanced. This world will pull you in many directions. You will be faced with choices that demand careful consideration, not just of one side, but of many. The temptation to embrace extremes in your social, emotional, political, and relational lives will undoubtedly arise. When faced with these decision points, I urge you to consider the example of Washington. Socially, embrace diverse perspectives. Engage with those who hold differing viewpoints, not to win a debate, but to broaden your understanding of the world that you're a part of. True connection often comes from finding common ground, even after disagreements. Emotionally, strive for homeostasis. Life will bring immense joy and hardship. Learn to navigate these highs and lows with resilience. Allow yourself to feel, but not to be consumed by those feelings. Politically engage thoughtfully and respectfully. Take note that complex issues rarely have simple solutions. Therefore, the TikToker offering political viewpoints should not be the end of your thought process. Engage nuanced information, listen to differing perspectives, and contribute to constructive dialogue instead of divisive rhetoric. In your relationships, find a spot where you strike a balance of independence and interdependence. We need others, but we also need ourselves. Nurture connections that are built on mutual respect, understanding, and compromise. The path ahead will be filled with opportunities and challenges you cannot yet imagine. There will be moments that call for bold action and those that demand quiet reflection. Your ability to do both when the currents of life are acting like a riptide will be a source of strength for you all. As you leave Heritage Academy with the knowledge and bonds you have formed, remember that true growth and progress, both personal and societal, often lie not in the extremes, but somewhere in the middle. Congratulations, class of 2025. You're beyond amazing. Go forth into the world and remember the following. It's all about finding that balance. Thank you.
All right, it's time to honor the class of 2025. We would like to recognize the 77 of our 118 Heritage graduates wearing red stoles who are receiving 1 or more associate degrees, as well as their high school diplomas. If you have a red stole on, would you please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. We would also like to recognize and congratulate those in this graduating class who attended EVIT. Would the seniors who completed a 2-year certificate in their area please stand? You may be seated. Tonight we celebrate Heritage Academy's 2025 graduating class. They are remarkable young people. This class has been rewarded over $4.7 million in scholarship money. They have earned a total of 4,713 college credits, saving roughly over $2.8 million toward college tuition. Over 80% of them have earned credit for college. Alex Zayas Abril earned the prestigious Flynn Scholarship. We are proud of him and what this means to his family. Along with their smarts, this group is also athletic. We are the current state champions in girls swim, boys tackle football, and boys and girls track. We are also state runners-up in boys and girls cross country, girls volleyball, and girls softball. Two of our seniors made all-state choir and jazz, and we compete against all the big high schools in the state, and one of our scholars placed first. Many of our seniors performed in Noses Off, our musical, and Dancing with the Stars. Some other fun facts about this class. They have earned a remarkable 110 distinctions. and their senior prank was epic. Yesterday, during lunch, they held a mock wedding complete with engagement photos, invitations, a cake, decorations, vows, bridesmaids and groomsmen, and a first dance. It was a grand party at lunch. You have probably noticed the regalia draping many of our seniors. Those wearing gold cords have received a department distinction. The silver cords represent the top 10% of the graduating class. Would the top 10% please stand? You may be seated. Scholars wearing gold stoles are members of our National Honor Society, and scholars wearing white stoles are members of our Scholar Council. Would the scholars who earned our special Heritage Awards please stand? There should be 4 of you. These scholars are wearing red, white, and blue cords and received our prestigious Heritage Awards. These awards represent the noble characters of some of our founders. The following scholars were chosen by their teachers of examples of outstanding character. Alex Zayas Abril was granted the George Washington Award. Stetson Lankilby, the Abraham Lincoln Award. Katie Lynn Gunderson, the Dolly Madison Award. And Kyra Baker, the Benjamin Franklin Award. You may be seated. Can I invite Mr. Brown and Ms. Seaman to help me? In celebrating these many achievements, Heritage Academy will now grant almost $8,000 in scholarship money. These scholars are being rewarded for graduating in the top 10% of their class, earning multiple distinctions, and/or receiving our prestigious Heritage Awards. When I call your name, please stand and stay standing until you have received your award. Kyra Baker. Seda Bennett. Melody Brown. Amesley Campbell. Sid Carbajal Zanabria. Peyton Carlson. Addie Carter. Kaylee Clark. Ryan Colby. Vienna Davis. Raylyn Fabiano. Sedona Farnsworth. Samantha Fletcher. Regan Good. Emma Gordon. Nathaniel Grossen. Katie Lynn Gunderson. Rosie Hall. Elena Hancock. Hunter Herndon. Avery Jennings. Ian Johnson. Taya Johnson. Stetson Lankildy. Charlotte Larson. Mary Lee. Christina Little. Ashley Lopez Villa. Edwin Martinez Ruiz. Tatum Meeker. Chloe Mortensen. David Moda. Karen Myers. Tyson Peterson. Tessa Pimentel. Asher Pindar. Noah Rich. Maya Shepard. Claire Sherwood. Asher Smith. Jack Spilsbury. James Taylor. Lily Vomisil. Lincoln Wetton. Seth Wilding. Brighton Wilden. And Alejandro Zaya Sabril. Something else I didn't share with you is this is the largest graduating class Heritage Academy has ever had, with 118 graduates. The senior choir will now sing Photograph.
take a photograph and live inside.
Thank you, seniors. I promise we have the AC cranked. I know it is warm. We have these robes on. It's warm. I'd like to end by sharing a few thoughts with our seniors. So if you would indulge me. In a few weeks, I will attend my 40th high school class reunion in Springville, Utah. I am a Springville Red Devil. In 1985, I was just like you, walking across a stage in a cap and a gown, nervous to leave my friends and family, wondering what my future would hold. What would I say to 18-year-old Heidi? I would tell her to take life one day at a time and not to overstress about the future. What I've learned is how life is determined by a million little choices along the way. What your life becomes is the accumulation of days. We can't always control what happens in life, but we do have control of our response. So be wise in the patterns you establish with your time. Be wise in choosing your people. You will develop habits that mirror those of your friends. I would tell her she is going to be okay. What I have learned is a strong character doesn't come free. When you feel stretched or uncomfortable, stay calm. It means you are growing. Try and lean into the wind so you won't be knocked over. And when you do fall, let someone help you stand back up if you struggle to get up on your own. As long as you keep getting up, you will be okay. I would tell her that life will be more fantastic and fulfilling than she could ever imagine. I have learned that there is joy and fun to be found every day. There is something new to learn every day. There is someone who needs you every day. Don't shy away from adventure or sharing a smile or expressing your love. In closing, I want you, the senior class of 2025, to know you are loved and to understand how lucky you are to be a heritage hero. Scholars, your legacy becomes our heritage. In 40 years, I want you to be proud of who you have become. And always remember, I love you. We will now present the diplomas. Samantha Fletcher and Antonio Ibarra-Tabula will read the names of our graduates. Following the presentation of diplomas, the Heritage Chamber Orchestra will play. At the end of their piece, I will present the graduating class of 2025.
Antonio Ibarra-Tabula. Samantha Fletcher.
Valeria Abril Flores. Dorian Acedo Guzman. Katrina Ray Anderson. Aneli Apodaca Baca. Kyra Laree Baker. Annalise Faye Bennett. Seda Pacencia Bennett. Brian Bennett. Caden Bergman. Eleanor Bowles.
Melody Brown. Ainsley Campbell. Sid Adi Zanabria. Peyton Lily Carlson. Addie Carter. Jackson Christensen. Kaylee Elizabeth Clark. Ryan Colby. Vienna Davis. Jose del Angel Nativitas.
Olivia Jane Emke. Raylyn Justina Fabiano. Sedona Paige Farnsworth. Ryan Fisher. Elliot Freeman. Angel Garcia Martinez. Paola Natalie Garcia. Cooper J. Gormley. Reagan Lynn Gillespie. Regan Good.
Emma Gordon. Nathaniel James Grossen. Katie Lynn Afton Gunderson. Rosie LaRue Hall. Elena May Hancock. Addison Hatch. Sabian Henderson. Adrian Hernandez. Hunter Atticus Sean Herndon. William Wayne Hollingshead.
Jonathan Hooton. Elliot Horde. Araya Howell. Laura Huddle. Avery Hoku Jennings. Ian Thomas Johnson. Taya Catherine Johnson. Tate Jones. Lillian Rain Keister. Harrison Colhase.
Beckham Lamson. Stetson Morgan Langkildy. Charlotte Larson. Mary Lee. Fabricio Lacona Anaya. Christina Little. Evan Roger Loney. Ashley Janet Lopez Villa. Jacob Haniel Lopez. Tavian Macias.
Maya McClay. Eilina Rainwater Magdaleno. Cadence Lynn Marenzelich. Andrea Martinez Hernandez. Joseph McClellan. Michael E. Menlove. Austin Merrill. Adam Miles. Allie Miller. Chloe Mortensen.
David Mota. Karen Myers. Ryan Nelson. Serenity Nunez. Elise Olson. Camila Hara Espinoza. Brian Perkins. Haley Peterson. Tyson Peterson.
Braden Pickett. Landon Pickett. Tessa Ray Pinmento. Asher M. Pindar. Cameron Kathleen Polson. Katrina Lucille Polson. Aiden Jonathan Powell. Julia Catherine Pugmire. Liliana Ramos Tabuyo. Noah Rich.
Roy Rogers. Frank Anthony Roman. Daniel Rush. Connor Chipo Sandura. Luna Michelle Saucedo. Caitlin Lee Schultz. Savannah Sage Scoville. Lindy Sell. Maya Shepard. Claire Sherwood.
Jack Spilsbury. Annalie Stay. Lillian Sutherland. James Taylor. Warren Tripp. Lily Vomasil. William Jerry Ward. Lincoln Edward Wetton. Jane Michelle Whitener. Seth Wildy.
Brighton Lane Wilden. Jared Windsor. Matson Young. Alejandro Zayas Abril. Asher Robert Smith. Edwin Martinez Ruiz. Tatum Meeker.
Graduates, please stand. Let's give them a hand. Okay. In following the tradition of academia, graduates begin with their ceremonies with their tassels on the right side of their caps. As you bring your high school journey to a close, we will now signify your success. Graduates, please move your tassels to the left. I now present the Heritage Academy class of 2025.
Walking